Good afternoon and welcome to NMH at 1 as we review the daily newspapers. My name is Ashwin Berry and I'll be covering once again for Priska Anyolo. Let's have a good day. So we're going to be bringing you the publications from the nation's main publications. But first, we're going to go straight into our COVID monitor today. The latest data from Namibia indicates that there may be reason for guarded optimism. On average, only 97 new cases are being reported a day, 50% less than 7 days before, when this number stood at 195. The cumulative number of new cases since the start of the second wave of infections is also showing signs of the curve flattening. As the line graphic in your monitor shows, this is the lowest daily average since 4 December, 4 months ago. Total vaccinations, however, only stand at 2,500 so far. Only 6 districts are reporting 5 or more new cases per day, and out of the country's 35 health districts, reductions are experienced in 26, or almost 3 out of every 4. A week ago, 12 districts were reporting 5 or more cases per day. Only 4 districts show increases, while the average remained the same in the remaining 5. In the north, only Grootfontein and Rundu remain on our map, but both districts are experiencing a decline in new cases. Rehoboth, with an average of 18 cases per day, surpassed Windhoek, where daily only 11 new cases are being recorded. The average for the capital is less than before the first wave hit. Averages for Mariental and Walvis Bay are also decreasing. A word of caution, however: increased infections due to socialization over the Easter weekend will only be detected in a week or 2, so keep on protecting yourself and others. Welcome back to NMH at 1. In our first clip, we're going to be looking at DHPS school, which spared no expense or effort in renovating and revamping its science facilities. The new physics, chemistry, and biology labs now offer the approximately 1,000 learners and teachers at DHPS a state-of-art learning and teaching environment. This video was prepared by Claudia Reiter.
Ja, sonst geht es weiter. Okay. Ups. Wir brauchen noch die Presse.
Ja, ich bin da.
Electricity and network outlets, and this helps students to get electricity supply here for any hands-on experiments, any experiments that the students can perform. They can just put up the experiment here. I can move around the desks freely. So in the old physics labs, I don't know who still remembers them, we had a fixed arrangement of desks, which was pretty similar to that one that we see here today. But experiments should be done in groups.
just exchange a page because we have them printed every year. So we can just exchange a
An investment in education is the best kind of investment. In our next story, the general manager of the Locusts Nest Hotel off Grunewald spoke to Elizabeth Joseph about the trials of managing a hotel during COVID-19.
Right. My name is Ulf Grunewald. I'm the general manager of the 4-star Locusts Nest Hotel. In April last year, we got hit by this pandemic, and it obviously influenced and had repercussions on our business. Staff had to be retrenched, and we had to make do with the minimum staff just to keep our doors open. Business has gone down. We, at the beginning, moved from 70% to 3.4% occupancies, and that was not even due to locals coming, but due to businesses that had to move around. In other words, businesses like Nampower and those kind of businesses. And slowly but surely, this has increased to a fantastic figure of between 10 to 15% occupancy during the months that have passed. The future, what does the future hold? We believe that things will come right. We believe that by the end of this year, things will be in such a way that at least we can cut even again. And I am the permanent optimist, and I believe that this will happen.
Now in our next clip, 4 learners from Windhoek Afrikaans Privaat School recently raised money and collected dog food for a local canine anti-poaching unit. Enzo Amwele was at the handover, where the learners saw firsthand how the dogs are trained.
4 learners of the Windhoek Afrikaanse Privaat School recently undertook a project to raise money and gather dog food for the NMH anti-poaching unit. At the handover, the members of the unit demonstrated how the dogs are trained and how they react. NMH is a private law enforcement company with its humble beginnings in March 2013 that has since grown from strength to strength. The company mainly focuses on protecting private commercial farms, whether it is game or livestock properties. In the meantime, the company currently employs over 150 persons.
It's time for us to have a look at the front pages of Namibia's daily newspapers. We start off with the Namibian Sun. The Namibian Sun takes an insightful behind-the-scenes look at the final few days in office for Admiral Peter Villo before his resignation as Minister of Defense. Villo served as a minister for only 383 days and has become the shortest-serving senior minister in Namibia's post-independence history. The Republican puts the spotlight to Meatco's decision to lay off all of its workers that are 55 years or older, which includes 3 of its top 7 managers. More than 80 of the company's 710 employees are affected by this decision. Experts have raised concern about this strategy and the effect that such a loss of intellectual property could have on the future of Meatco's operations. New Era leads with opposition party leaders expressing strong reactions to Prime Minister Sarah Kumbongelwa Amadila's statement, which stated that the government has robust laws, systems, and institutions in place in the fight against corruption. Opposition leaders, however, were quick to point out their perception that graft is indeed systemic occurrence and that too many top-level politicians have personal links to questionable individuals. Allgemeine Zeitung also leads with the lively debate between the Prime Minister and opposition party leaders on the topic of corruption. The German newspaper also has a front-page story covering the court proceedings in the murder trial of Ernst Lichtenstrasser. The state called to the witness stand the security guard who was first at the scene of the deadly shooting of NIMT directors Eckhard Müller and Heimo Helweg. The Namibian delves into the dangers and downsides of sand mining, especially in the northern regions of the country. Not only do critics see the industry as destructive to the environment, but the rainwater collected in open pits has brought about the deaths of a number of children who drowned in it in recent years. Since we don't judge a book by its cover, it's time to see what is inside today's dailies. On a lighter note, Dudley's cartoon Inside the Namibian plays on the recent theme of corruption in the higher levels of government being exposed. The cartoon also connects to the newspaper's second story on the front page, where Windhoek Mayor Dr. Job Amupanda says he will continue his approach of using social media to expose corrupt activities rather than to place his trust in the established organizations such as the Anti-Corruption Commission. New Era reports on yesterday's visit to State House by Wamkele Mene, Secretary General of the African Free Trade Area Secretariat. The organization is aimed at boosting African economies and uplifting millions of inhabitants out of poverty through facilitation of free trade. Mene, who is a South African official, told President Hage Geingob how impressed he has been with Namibia's infrastructure, such as Namport and its support of landlocked countries in the region. MarketWatch reports that businesses in the mining, retail and manufacturing sectors are the main drivers of the increase in credit uptake, as credit extended to corporates in February increased by 1.6% year-on-year. Republican published its interview with Jackie Brits and Reinhold van Wyk, the two candidates running for the leadership position of the Rehoboth Basta community. The election of a new Rehoboth Basta captain will be held on 24 April, and both candidates were given a platform to express their views on the past and future of the Rehoboth community, as well as their intended leadership approach. Now, Allgemeine Zeitung published this striking photo sent in by one of its readers, Christine van der Merwe. She reported seeing massive swarms of locusts in the south on the way from Karasburg to the border post Ariansvlei yesterday. Van der Merwe says the locusts were everywhere and ate everything in their path. Since the beginning of the year, massive swarms of locusts have targeted the Zambezi region and later reached both Kavango regions, causing incredible damage to the crops of subsistence farmers. The Ministry of Agriculture's campaign of poisoning the swarms of locusts had the unfortunate side effect of also killing other insects, including bees. Now, the Namibian Sun follows up on the railway crash that happened at Swakopmund on the 16th of March and reports that the railway artery to and from the coast has been restored. The investigation of the cause of the accident is ongoing and has been an intensive and time-consuming process, Transnamib's communications manager said. One person, the assistant locomotive driver Willem Joseph, was killed in the derailment, which has been called one of the worst in Namibian history.
Going on in here.
Now, at the beginning of the show, I said, let's have a good day. Why? Because news brings you the facts, but you choose how to feel about them. This has been NMH at 1 with Ashwin Berry. See you next week with Priska Nyolo.